They try that would try to make that as art.
Hi, friends, and welcome to Talking with Famous People's A Dampening of Souls. It's been raining here in Los Angeles for a solid week, and we are pretty damp, pretty drenched, pretty socked in with the weather. It's also been freezing cold.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have a fair amount of snow. I was looking at some news articles on the weather. It's like the only thing you can get news articles on besides the virus these days. And yeah, we should get some snow. Hi, Jerry like the mouse. How are you?
Jerry like the mouse. I wonder if there'll ever be a cat like the
Tom like the cat?
Yeah, Tom like the cat.
Might be. We'll have to wait and see. I need to live stream tonight, despite being sort of tired and somewhat low energy. I feel like my previous video titled Return to Normalcy was probably a little prematurely titled. It's taken me a couple of days here to sort of feel somewhat return to normal. No, I'm not pooping out already. I'm just saying that is it true that intuitive types have more short-term memory than sensory types? I would not necessarily expect that to be the case. I don't know. I've never even thought about it before. I don't see why that would be the case. I would say that, like your ISTPs and stuff, they have good short-term memory. Probably better than ENTPs. Are you looking for some weed? Yeah. Here you go. When I played Battlefield 4 a bunch, someone made an account named I Lost Bacon. I never found out who they are.
Huh. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got in the
laundry. The laundry's ready.
Laundry's ready.
Oh no, and I accidentally pressed repeat.
You pressed repeat? What do you mean?
For the timer.
So else been listening, must find bacon. This was after you were named I Found Bacon. How damp can souls get? It's an important question. As damp as you can imagine them being is the answer. Remember that all soul dampenings ultimately come down to your imagination.
Yeah. That's why I believe in unicorns.
Thanksgiving ceremonies.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Can I be blindfolded when that happens?
Yeah, I don't actually have any stabbing ceremonies with unicorn horns. Soaking the soul. So to soak one's soul in dampness is to tender it in the moistest of waters. And certainly I feel as though my soul has been dampened quite a bit this past week, I think. Probably Rachel's as well. I think ultimately these sort of things bring us together on the other side of it. I feel like it's a weird sort of thing to deal with the aftermath of, because
I read something somewhere that said that that exact thing would happen. That they would proof. It would happen and then proof be gone. Something along those lines. It resonated with our situation. I don't know
Well, I mean, this is a weird thing. Is it was very intense for me because in some ways, because it linked to old stuff for me that I've had in previous relationships. The like not liking it when I work on stuff that really linked in with a problem I had in previous relationships, and where I felt, I tried to be balanced as much as I could, and I've been pretty balanced in this one, so
Yeah.
I felt like all kind of uppity about that. And then the other stuff being not really anything about me per se,
No.
just about the relationship in general and whether or not she found it viable. When I reflect back on everything, there wasn't really anything that happened. It just felt like a lot of shit was going down. When she broke up with me, obviously that was rather traumatic, but I kind of knew at the time that, okay, well, this isn't gonna be how it plays out. But it really shows the struggle between SI and NI within somebody who's got in the 4 or 5. I think an NI person, NI down, would be able to go, all right, this is what it is. It doesn't represent anything other than what it represents, and it's not gonna bother me. I agree, Alexander Cruz. We can't keep doing this because it'll chip away at the relationship, which means, if this were a monthly occurrence, it would be hard to sustain.
3 years.
And in this instance, in December, it happened because she stopped taking her meds. And
Right.
in this instance, those old meds just stopped working. We had to switch meds. And so,
That happens.
I agree, Alexander Cruz, if there was too much volatility too frequently, it would chip away at the relationship over time.
I agree as well.
I think there are a couple of instances that, this has happened twice in the relationship, and both those instances kind of taught me a lot about what it means to deal with what Rachel has to deal with, and also hopefully gave me a more nuanced sense of what to look for and things like that. I think it also solved the problem pretty much, because I think we got a drug now that works.
Yeah.
And she's sleeping like a baby.
I want to be sedated.
24 hours ago, I want to be sedated. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Whoa, whoa. I want to be sedated. Just take me to the top, look on the dot. No, I was born in 71. Upton plates 48.
Yeah,
71.
he's Gen X. I'm a millennial cross because I'm 85.
She's 85.
Yeah, so there's a really cool article that said that millennial cuspers have the best taste in music, but everything else sucks. So I'm like, I hold on to that music like a precious stone.
Well, I must have the taste of a millennial cusper because you and I have the same taste in music.
Yes. You do have the taste of a millennial cusper.
It's one of the things, when I was talking this out as it was happening, I was saying things that I need to remember about the reality of stuff. And I guess I was basically defending the relationship in the face of a lot of people who respond to hearing about this stuff by treating it as though it weren't part of an episode. So in other words, well, if Rachel's saying this, bro, she just doesn't want to be with you. So I was just like, okay, guys, chill the fuck out a second here. Let's not jump the gun. Anyway, in articulating those things, I found myself articulating the many ways in which we're extremely compatible and we get along great and everything. And that's the thing that people don't exactly get. It's like everybody kind of argues from this, all things being equal, then yeah. But it's not the case, all things being equal. In fact, Rachel and I it's not like Rachel and I are a fine enough relationship, except I got to deal with this thing. Ridgeline are perfect, except they're gotta deal with stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes it it's a big difference, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the total truth is that, like, I'm a complete joy to be with. Like, even my family says that, like, all the time. It's just when I don't get sleep that I turn into, like, this little devil. And, you know, it's a part of me, but that's why sleep for me is so important.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, that's SI though. SI people in general tend to be sucked into the moment of their experience.
True.
And not look at the big picture very well.
Right, true.
NI people can miss the forest for the trees, which is a little bit of a different version of it. But that's a different version of getting sucked into the moment. It's this whole recency thing. SI doesn't do a good job of keeping in mind experiences more than a few days on either side of it.
Oh. By the way, I love that Dodgers shirt on
you. Thanks. Well, yeah. In general, I would say SI is missing the forest for the trees, NI is missing the trees for the forest. So, for example, when Rachel's focusing on things that are universals, like the fact that I might be someday famous, big and famous, and things that she knows universally about people who get big and famous, and concluding that therefore this will happen here and she will suffer accordingly. Of course, she's missing the trees, namely that it's me. I'm not an example of the universal. I'm an example of Eric, whatever. In contrast, if you look at somebody missing the forest for the trees, then you're talking about like Kimberly, who one time a chicken got bit by a dog who came through a loose board in the fence, which I then repaired immediately. It was a new dog. There was no way to prevent it. It was just one of those fluke kind of things. Well, then at that point, she's concerned about threat from dogs. And all of a sudden, we've got to lock down the whole fucking place because dogs might come in from the street, dogs might fly in from the air, dogs might fly in from anywhere. Why? Well, because our chicken got attacked by a dog. The fact that it got in through the board and the fence, and that you can't generalize this thing out as a general threat because it happened one time, is just something that she misses. You know, it's like she's so caught up with the fact that these trees are elm trees that she concludes that she's in the middle of a massive elm grove and all trees are elm trees. Like that. Punch buggy. Instead, fondle my produce. You know, it's just. Carl Jung says most intuitives were about 60% wrong. That makes sense to me because we all just intuit all the time and no one is always correct. And the notion that you could be right or wrong as an intuitive is very introverted intuition approach to intuition. Because I don't see intuition as something that knows things and is either right or wrong about them, but rather as something that potentiates things out and goes, well, it could possibly be yeah, it could possibly be yeah. I'll get you a spoon.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to put ice cream in the microwave, how long would you put it in?
I wouldn't do that. Is it too hard or what?
It says 10 minutes, then squeeze and crack, and then you can eat it.
Oh,
I just gotta wait.
You don't gotta wait. That's ridiculous. There. So you can either go underneath it or punch through it as you see fit.
Thanks. Let's see.
Yeah. You ain't gotta follow those instructions.
Yeah, no.
Those instructions can suck it.
Yeah.
No, she was trying to follow the instructions on the ice cream.
Yeah, I'm like, wait 10 minutes. Who wants to wait 10 minutes for ice cream?
No
Not
one
me.
wants to wait 10 minutes for ice cream. Well, the reason that's not anti-truth is that constructing the universal from the particular rather than vice versa. So, in that example, an anti-person would say, oh, well, did you check the other boards maybe? Would be something an anti-person might say if they wanted to apply it to the particular. But I think the anti-person would just say, "Oh, a freak incident. I'm not gonna worry so much about it meaning anything." Whereas the SI person is going to take their experience as the predominant consideration. Pictionary. I'm not sure how to play Pictionary. Really. It seems pretty straightforward, but
I think Pictionary. You draw pictures of like people, places, things, and your partner has to guess. And like, I don't really like it.
You don't like it?
No, I think people get a little.
We could play Miminary.
Let's play Minecraft.
A lot of people want to play Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
We could play
Hangman's fun. Hangman's a good one. I feel like that's like a game most everyone can play.
We could play Count to 10 in the chat.
What's that?
Well, the chat plays Count to 10 where they take turns saying 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can get all the way to 10 without there being like a repeat number or a skip number or something. So if you go 1 and then 2 people put 2 in, you got to start over. There's a 1 from Jake Hurwitz. Somebody else has to put a 2.
That's an acting technique game.
Oh, that game is? Mm-hmm. I learned it as an icebreaker at this conference one time, and they did it with us.
Cool.
A group. And you do it, normally you do it out loud, saying it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
4. Guys.
Virtual reality Pictionary parties using Tilt Brush, huh?
Tilt Brush.
Adriel blew it. You can't put 5 before somebody puts 4.
I said 4.
Oh, you said 4?
Yeah.
Oh.
So who shaved it?
Jake hates group icebreakers. Says Ghost Rider. Oh yeah, okay, fine. You're right, Ezra. I stand corrected. The girl. You're the girl. You mean Rachel? Jenna Cruz says 6.
I am the girl.
She's the girl. Merciless, but it's not really either. It's like, I mean, it's okay. When I put words out on the metaphysical external field, I'm hoping that they'll be communicative. So in that sense, it's it's of the communicative realm rather than in the experiential realm, which is sort of like the broadest frame.
Mom 3.
That's real. That's
Gotta
what
start over.
I was thinking too.
All right, 1.
So, is any particularist? Well, no, it's universalist, but it's not really exactly universalist because it's just saying that. I mean, it legitimizes by the universalist NI, which is universalist. There we go. That gets us a lot closer to 10.
No, we gotta start over.
Oh, that's right.
Who's gonna say?
We could play a different game if you'd like. Would you like to play? Who has the biggest iguana?
Yeah.
Who has the biggest iguana is a game where each of you guys go out and get an iguana. And then you all show me pictures of your iguanas. And then I say who has the biggest iguana.
I like that.
That sounds like a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to play that game, everybody? Run out and get some iguanas. Keep your computers online so I don't lose viewers, though. 6, 1, 2 adds up to it's 4, 2, 1 adds up to 7.
That's so funny, Ghostwriter. I'm happy to hear that.
Hope for pause. Accidentally rescued the toy iguana in LA today. Really? Is Simone break? Smoke break.
I like poltergeist.
You can adopt it by sending in a funny application. Oh.
Huh.
Some people call their peckers iguanas. I don't know anybody who does that, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Iguana. Komodo dragons. You know what you don't want to get bit by? A Komodo dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That will get very infected.
Mm-hmm.
Probably kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Chilies? Who calls
Chilies?
it chilies?
That's a new thing to me too.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Use the right inflection, and you can use any word as a metaphor for your pecker. So I could say like my Bermuda grass, and you know I was talking about my dick.
Can we watch a movie tonight?
I'm sure we want to watch.
It's called Before Sunrise.
Oh, I mean, the answer. Actually, my thought of that is I probably am not that. I don't have that much wakefulness. I'm gonna watch a movie tonight.
So tomorrow or something.
Yeah, tomorrow. Would be better
The next
for me.
time you watch a movie, it'll be that.
All right, cool. Are bongs your most used lifetime weed smoking apparatus? Yeah, I mostly use bongs. I do occasionally, I'll smoke out of a pipe or I'll smoke a joint occasionally, but by and large, I prefer to smoke bong rips. My undocumented immigrant, Abominable on Hulu, which is so cute. Okay. And I legitimize any, well, I'm saying any expert intuition operates within its communicability frame by either resonating or not resonating as true against either the sort of interface modality of FE, the deliberation modality of TI, some combination of all those things, right? So it's like NI goes, is this going to universally play? And NE needs to know that to say things that are going to work, but it ignores whether or not it has. I ignore NI for my own life or for a lot of different things, but it's underlying my illocutionary?
Two swords equals gay sex.
Is illocutionary? Well,
What does illocutionary mean?
so locutionary acts are speech acts, not explicitly included in the speech acts. So, for example, linguistics has a simple enough distinction in that it would be something like, if I say, those people took my cheese, then the illocutionary aspect of it would be, I believe. That's automatic for every statement. That there's an implied I believe linking back to the agent. That for the agent to state that means what's predicated on making a statement is the affirmation thereof, essentially. But I use the word more broadly than that, and I say there's an illocutionary frame behind every speech act that explains by which we can articulate a difference between, like, if I say something in an obviously sarcastic tone, like, oh yeah, I really like Beaches, it's my favorite movie. Well, my locutionary frame is just the actual literal meaning of the words. The illocutionary frame would be, I'm trying, for example, to convey that I'm too tough for Beaches, or it could be any number of kind of locutionary frames that's conveyed so explicitly in the tone. It's choppy. Okay, I don't know why it's choppy. It's got to be a busy night on YouTube. I don't know. How about now? Is it choppy? Is it choppy? Better now? Good now. Locution? Yeah, it means speech. Like, you used to be able to study elocution is, I guess, the verbal speech. I mean, locution might be a speech act that includes written, and elocution is just spoken. Yeah, I have to look it up to know exactly what the distinction is. To maybe watch another video and call it a night, go to bed or something?
Sure.
Is that cool? Okay, or at least I want to go and take a shower and a bath. So I know it's a short stream, but I'm going to call it a night, guys. I'm tired, and thanks for all being here. I feel like I got out my need to do a little streaming here successfully.
Good.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to go take a bath and then see about perhaps having my way with Rachel here, as they say. No, I would say, Bacon, that in that instance, the sarcastic tone was part of the locutionary frame and not illocutionary. That was a bad example. All right. Bye. Thanks.
Did something happen?